When Saving Private Ryan hit theaters in 1998, it was more than just another war film. It was a gut-wrenching, unflinchingly raw portrayal of combat that left audiences shaken, and for many veterans of World War II, it struck far too close to home. Nearly 30 years later, its legacy remains etched not just in cinematic history, but in the memories of those who lived through the horrors it so accurately depicted. Spielberg's most personal story became a cinematic wake-up call. Steven Spielberg didn't set out to make a typical war movie. Inspired by his father, Arnold Spielberg, a World War II radio operator, the director infused Saving Private Ryan with a deep sense of personal duty. The film's script, written by Robert Rodat, was based on the true story of the Nyland brothers, a family that inspired the U.S. Army's sole survivor policy, but Spielberg transformed it into something far more intimate and devastatingly real. To achieve that brutal authenticity, Spielberg leaned into realism like never before. Working with cinematographer Janusz Kaminski, the team used a bleach bypass process to desaturate the film, stripped away heroic musical cues, and filmed the opening 25-minute D-Day sequence with no storyboards, allowing chaos to reign on set just as it had on the beaches of Normandy. What resulted wasn't just realism, it was relived trauma for many veterans. Omaha Beach, the scene that broke theaters wide open. The now iconic depiction of the Omaha Beach landing was so visceral that it reportedly caused many World War II veterans to exit theaters, unable to finish the film. What they saw on screen was too close to what they had lived through. In many cases, it was the first time they'd seen their war experiences mirrored so vividly. The screams, the explosions, the silence after a shell hit, the sheer disorientation. Military historian John McManus praised the film's accuracy, especially its depiction of acoustic trauma. Tom Hanks' character, Captain Miller, enters a state of stunned silence during the landing, a moment McManus confirmed mirrored real veterans' accounts of losing their hearing and sense of space amidst the chaos. One story from a former theater employee has become emblematic of the film's effect. 2 World War II vets left the theater and embraced in the lobby, sobbing, they recalled. Another said, "The only thing missing was the smell." More than a film, a trigger for healing or trauma. Veterans didn't walk out because Saving Private Ryan failed them. Quite the opposite. It succeeded too well. The film dredged up long-suppressed memories and emotions, forcing veterans to confront what they'd buried for decades. Some were overwhelmed. Others found it cathartic. CBS reporter Sean Comey spoke to veteran Roy Gass, who admitted, "Last night was really bad. I must have gotten up at least a dozen times." Another vet said that while the experience was painful, it was the most honest war movie ever made. Forums like Reddit and early internet message boards became repositories of stories from grandchildren recounting how their fathers or grandfathers wept after watching the film, some for the first time in their lives. A lasting impact that still resonates. While Spielberg never aimed to create trauma, he acknowledged the film's emotional impact and even encouraged veterans to seek support before viewing. What emerged from Saving Private Ryan was not just a powerful war story, but a cultural moment, a reminder of the psychological scars left on those who served and the importance of telling those stories without romanticization. Decades later, as new generations discover the film, Saving Private Ryan continues to stand as a benchmark for war cinema, not because it glorified battle, but because it dared to strip the battlefield of all its glory. It remains a film that did what few works of fiction ever have. It honored truth, even when that truth was unbearable.